Alright, episode 3 of Spyro. Got some more coffee in my system. Hopefully I'm not so dog-ass tired recording this episode. We're starting off the Peacekeeper's world by doing a flight level just like we did in Artisans. The flight levels really grew on me the more I played through the Spyro games. Like, it started out that I dreaded them because they were like the only thing in the game that was a moderate challenge. But then the more I played them, the more I really love them. They're a unique idea, for sure. And, like, playing this game for this series again, it's kind of got me thinking, like, where would I rank my favorite platformers of all time? Because my favorite platformers, I mean, in no particular order, Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, A Hat in Time, the Spyro games, I mean, I'm sure there's a few that I'm forgetting. Mario Sunshine. Well, I already fucked this up, I think. Mario Sunshine was one that I enjoyed. I don't know if I would consider it one of my favorites of all time, however. Yeah, I'm just gonna restart. But I've said for a long time that, like, my favorite game of all time is Mario 64. But, see, I'm so mixed on how I feel about that game. As an adult going back and playing it. Like, I went back and I played it. Obviously, I've played it, like, many times in my life. Most of the times that I've played it, I played it on the DS version. Which, in my opinion, to this day, and this is something that I stand by, the DS version is far superior. I know people didn't like the D-pad controls, but I never had any issues with them, and as far as, like, functionality, I think the game was far superior. Like, without a shadow of a doubt. Shit. Yeah, that's what I didn't want to happen. Maybe I should try to do the lantern second. But I went through and I played it like a year or two ago for like a long play series where I played through and I collected every single star on stream, and I think it was split up into, I want to say, 4 streams. It took me 4 streams to get all 120 stars. And it's fascinating because it's like, you start the series, right? And actually, I think I might have privated them. Not privated, unlisted them. I might have unlisted them. Because they were so bad. Like, it started out, and I was so wide-eyed and excited to play Mario 64, this game I loved. But see, playing it on stream forced me to talk about it. And when the game would do, like, janky things that were, like, borderline unacceptable, right? I would have to point out, oh yeah, so that's just the game that has this glitch, or the controls aren't really very well made for this portion of the game, necessarily. And just things like that, I'd have to point out. And by the time I was done, I was like, most of my time playing this game has been spent criticizing it. And that is a bit of a talent of mine. I do a lot more complaining than I do praising. You know, it's not necessarily a good thing, I would say, but even for me, I did a lot of complaining. Like, even by my standards, there was a lot of complaining done in that live stream series. And I realized, this game is kind of broken. Like, number one, the controls are not at all suitable for a lot of what they want you to do. There are certain areas of the game which require very precise inputs. And the way that the character controls in that game is not precise. It's very loose, very slidey, very floaty. And like 90% of the game, it's not a big deal because you're dealing with areas that are wide open and you're not really worried about it. But then, you know, you get to these areas of the game where it's like, yes, we do want you to do very precise movement. And it's like, no, this was not made for this at all. This is terrible. Okay, I think this is the pattern. Like, there's a lot of good things about the game. Don't get me wrong. A lot of good things, like the music, the worlds, It was very innovative for its time, which is something you can't really take away from it. But as far as aging gracefully, no, it did not do that. And that's the all-in-one. So, like, while it is, like, my favorite game of all time, just because I'm nostalgic for it, I really can't say that I would put it number one if I was making, like, an objective list. It really would just be the nostalgia factor that bumps it up to number one. Honestly, number one might be the Spyro trilogy. It might be the Spyro trilogy at number one. A Hat in Time would probably be second, in my opinion. And then... Oh shit, you don't have the little flutter thing you have in Spyro 2. Then third would be Mario 64. And then, like, after Mario 64, that's where you get into, like... Mario Galaxy 2 would probably be fourth on my list. Then Mario Sunshine. And honestly, the original Mario Galaxy probably wouldn't even be on the list, because I feel like that game's just overrated as all shit. I'm sorry. The music was phenomenal. The orchestra thing they had going on was great. It was a very unique idea, and it definitely did something new, but the force motion controls were terrible. The level design was sometimes just straight up frustrating, and Mario was so slow. Like, you come off of Mario Sunshine, which at the time was like the last mainline 3D Mario platformer. You come off Mario Sunshine, where the movement is, like, in my opinion, the best it has ever been in a Mario game. Like, it's fluent, it's smooth, you have perfect control, it's precise, it's not, like, slidey and floaty like Mario 64 was, but it's fast and it's responsive. And then you go to Mario Sunshine, or not Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy. And when you go to Mario Galaxy, suddenly Mario moves slowly, he doesn't jump as high, nothing feels responsive. It felt like they designed his controls so that you could give the Wii Remote to, like, a literal toddler and they wouldn't be able to fall off the edge of the level. Because Mario moves so slow, like, how could anybody die or make any mistakes? And it's just such a slog to get through certain areas. And, like, honestly, when I emulated the game, I went through and I played Mario Galaxy. And I played it on an emulator. And I assigned the motion controls to the joystick. And lo and behold, the forced motion control sections were a lot better when you're not being forced to use fucking motion controls. Like, if you just have the joystick, it played fine. But I can't say a game is good because I was able to make it better by basically hacking it on an emulator. Like, I gotta judge it based on what it was. And it was not fun to control in Mario Galaxy. But I don't know, there's just something about the Spyro games that I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoy. The first game is really easy, the difficulty kind of ramps up over time, so if you are somebody who likes a challenge, you're not left in the dust or anything like that. The controls are great, the visuals are beautiful, the music is amazing, and there's just so few complaints I have about the game. Like, I could sit here and I could list complaints off about Mario 64 all day long. Easily, I could list complaints off. This game, like, the entire trilogy, my complaints are, like, in the single digits. I was actually going to do, at one point, I had started writing a script for my top 5 favorite and least favorite levels in the Spyro trilogy. And what I noticed was that I was able to find 5 levels that I loved easy. In fact, it was very difficult for me to narrow it down to 5 good levels that I really enjoyed. And then when it got to the bad levels, I got to about 4, and I legitimately couldn't think of a 5th. So, like, I loaded up the game, and I'm, like, browsing through the levels, and I'm trying to find reasons that, like, I would hate a particular level. Like, is this a bad level? Did I not enjoy this? And it's like, no, I had fun playing this. And, like, even one of the levels that I played, right, that I didn't like, it was one of the first ones on my mind when it came to top 5 worst levels. It was the one in, I want to say it was Spyro 2, where you have to do the trading quest, or the trading sequence for the professor, where, like, you have to take, like, the seed, and then you trade that for, like, a pencil, but then you trade the pencil for something else, and then you trade the pencil, like, whatever you get for that, for, like, a coin, and then you trade the coin for the glasses, and it's, like, it's so convoluted and such bullshit. I could not, it was so tedious, it was not fun. But then I was like, that's my opinion of it, but, like, I can also see why somebody would enjoy it, you know? Like, figuring out the puzzle of, like, okay, he gave me the seed. How the hell do I get my end goal with nothing more than a seed? And then eventually you're like, oh, so I gotta give it to somebody for this, and then what do I do with this? And it's like a puzzle that you have to solve. And some people really love solving puzzles. So I could see why somebody would love that level. Like, it might be on my top 5 worst, but it could be on somebody's top 5 best. Like, easily. And I would understand why. So even the levels I didn't like, it's just like I can understand why they have potential and why the reasons I dislike it are completely arbitrary and subjective. Like, when it comes to objectively bad levels or objectively bad design, it just doesn't... There's just not a whole lot of it, you know? Do you see that expert dodge right there? Holy shit. Ah, oh, fuck. I forgot these things. So now I gotta go all the way back around. That's alright. Oh, I forgot I can't sprint right into him. And I've lost sparks again. Please give me health. I really love the aesthetics of this level. I mean, I love the aesthetics of most levels in these games, but... I don't know, I've always been a bit of a sucker for snow levels, and this is such a unique take on, like, a snow level. It's kind of like an ice cave, but there's, like, shit, you know, all around, like, structures and things. Like, it's awesome. It's not even really like a cave, it's more like a ice pit. Because, like, you can look, there's the sky. Like, we're not in a cave, necessarily. But there's a few things we've missed that I usually save for last. And I'm not sure how to get back to where I was. Maybe over here. Yep. So we need to glide onto that ice platform from up top, so we gotta work our way all the way back up. Which I think was this way, wasn't it? Oops. Yes, it was. Okay. I go over here. And... no. I completely forgot this area existed. I don't know how I forgot. Alright, now we got the key, and I believe that chest is gonna have the last 30 gems. I want to say. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I missed something along the way. I tend to miss a lot of things. Tell you what, boys, there's nothing more cozy than, like, playing a snow level while drinking coffee or tea or whatever you prefer. It's like the opposites, you know? Like the cold-looking environment, warm beverage. That is that level done. Probably my favorite level, other than the flight level, in this world. Again, just a sucker for snow levels. That's not to say the other levels in this world are bad. They're just not that. Clifftown is an interesting level. Let's go ahead and hop in here. Almost out of coffee, actually. Need some more. Okay. Cliff Town. And again, another level. The Spyro devs love doing that. Just putting shit right behind where you spawn so that you ignore it. Like, this game is the reason that every time I start a level in a platformer or like a collectathon, I always immediately rotate the camera around. Like, immediately. It's the first thing I do. Because I just have such severe trust issues. Thanks to this game. Actually, you want to talk about trust issues. There is some, not necessarily hidden areas in this level, but other areas that you wouldn't think you're able to go to. But, like, these levels are so open that you can pretty much go everywhere. Like, that's the thing, man. Spyro games, very rarely did they ever use the invisible wall trope. Like, if it looks like you can go somewhere, generally you can. So, like, you see these areas that, like, most games would just have out of bounds. But then you play Spyro, and it's like, oh no, I can actually go there. It's like Skyrim, you know? Todd Howard talking about, oh, you can climb any mountain, you can go anywhere. He wasn't wrong. I have consumed more Todd Howard media recently than anybody should be subjected to. Because I'm working on a YouTube poop, and I've just been spending an absurd amount of time sentence mixing Todd Howard from various interviews and documentaries. I can't get close enough to this son of a bitch. There we go. Gib egg. I always thought the design for those guys was kind of neat because they got like metal capes. No idea how that works. I mean, it makes no sense in terms of like physics. Obviously, metal isn't really flexible, so I don't know how that works, but it's a cool visual. So we're gonna get all these gems up here. And there is a lot of them. And we're gonna get this guy, Enzo Ferrari. Is that a racism? Did I just do a racism? Okay. So I'm trying to remember how in the blue hell you're supposed to open this. Oh, I do remember. Actually, never mind. I know. I need to go back up. Neum. Am fast. And I gotta make this glide. Hopefully I do. And this rocket's gonna go up. It's gonna hit the chest. But before we go over there, I'm gonna come over here, grab these bad boys. Really no other rooftops I can reach from here, so we're not gonna worry about that right this second. Grab this spare life. Not that I really need it. The only times I've died have been on the overworld when I'm just being a complete and utter dumbass. Alright, so now we get into the it doesn't look like you should be able to go there, but you can area. And that is this massive area over here. Which actually has a lot of stuff. I would say this actually accounts for like half the level. Sparks, give me the damn gem. Just gonna sit there looking like a dumbass. I'm sorry, Sparks isn't a dumbass. That was rude of me. Might as well just get rid of these vultures before anything else. Because they're kind of a nuisance. Alright, so I think that's most of the gems up here. There's a few more gems on rooftops that we need to go get. And let me just make sure there's no more up here. Like, Sparks isn't going to magically point towards something over here. No. Okay, so the nearest gems are down below. So we got everything here. Alright, we need to jump clear over there, which actually, how do I do that? Do I need to start over here where it's a little bit higher? I think there was more fireworks somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't there? Maybe not. I missed some gems over there as well. But alright, let's go ahead and grab this. Go back up here. Oh, shit. Which, if you're wondering why I didn't do it that way originally, that lift pad doesn't actually open until you get here the real way, which is to glide from on top of the building. And now we get into the secret area, which had me stumped for a while when I played the game the first time. Alright, now let's go get those gems over there that we missed, and I think there's probably a few more that I missed somewhere, because I don't think picking up these few over here is going to add up to 400. No, sir. We're missing several. Many much. 5 of them now? They appear to be up top somewhere. Which I didn't really thoroughly look at the top of the level, so that would make sense. Oh, these things. Didn't ignite that. There we go. Level done. Right? 100%? Yes, sir. Alright, we'll do one more level this part, and then we'll call it quits for part 3. But what level? You know what? Let's just work our way backwards from where we were. Let's just go over here. Dry Canyon. I don't remember this one very well. Some of these levels I know by name, and others I do not. Okay, I do remember this level. I just didn't remember it by name. I mean, Dry Canyon is kind of an astoundingly generic name for a level, not gonna lie. It's kind of funny, because like there is a lot of things in Spyro that are kind of generic. And yet, the game itself, despite being made up of elements which could be considered generic, they all kind of come together to build a game that it's not at all generic. Like, you couldn't describe... Like, if you describe this game as generic, there's something wrong with you. It is so memorable. Alright, did I get everything in this initial starting area? No, I didn't. Forgot one of these bad boys. So now, moving on. I also like how they just straight up gave the enemies guns in this level. They're just like, Yeah, fuck you, bud. Out of the way. Alright, I'm gonna grab the shit that's down here before I go the secret route. Not really a secret route, it's honestly like half the level. Alright. Yeah, they really like their vulture levels in the desert, or vulture enemies in the desert levels. They use them a lot. Hey there, Ivor. I don't trust anybody who has Vor in their name. Especially when they're a dragon with Vor in the name. Listen, man, I've been on DeviantArt long enough to not trust that for a second. DeviantArt is such a fascinating website. I mean, every single website has its own, like, dichotomy, right? Like, you have, like, the good and the bad of every single website, but, like, I don't think the difference between the bottom and the top has ever been as pronounced as it is for DA. Like there is some genuinely fantastic like landscapes and like Bob Ross-esque paintings and like just generally incredible work that people have made on there. You know, and then then there's just the weird shit. You know, like the poorly drawn weird shit, which in my opinion is a much bigger. Like it's one thing just to draw weird shit, but then to like do it in poor quality, that's worse. Like if somebody draws some weird shit and it's like really good quality art, I can't even hate on it. It's like, okay, clearly talent went into this. It's not for me, but damn if they don't know what they're doing. Okay, so I need to get back up there somehow, which I think I've already fucked up. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Yeah, I need to get back up there, which I've already kind of fucked up. And I do need that. Okay, that's what it is. I need that key. This glide jump, if I remember correctly, this glide jump is a bitch. I remember trying to make this like 30 times the first time I played this level. Let's see if I can get it first try. I didn't make it. See, it's fucking... I hate that jump. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. Maybe that's not where you're supposed to jump from. I don't know. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But I need that key, obviously, for 100% level completion. So I gotta go all the way back around. And that's the worst part. Every time you miss, every time you fuck it up, you gotta come back through here. All the way. And you come over here. And you try again. Maybe this isn't even the way it's meant to be played. That could be very true. But I made it. Holy shit. Maximus. Alright, we got the key I needed. So now, just got a few more things we gotta do in this level. Easy peasy. I'm sure you probably already saw where we're going. It's right over there on that ledge. Noom. There is so much shit on this little island out here. Alright, now we gotta go to a slightly different secret area. Not really secret, necessarily. I don't know. Depends on your definition. It's a free country. You can call it whatever you want. I need to come over here. Glide through here. Headbutt the shit out of that guy. Missing 5 gems somehow, and Sparks is dead. Sparks is fucking dead, so I don't know where I'm missing 5 gems at. Oh, that's a pain. Well, in the meantime, I want to test a hypothesis. Oh, that's how you're supposed to do it. That's why that jump is so hard, because you're not supposed to do it like that. And I'm a dumbass, and I've done it that way every time I've played the game. Oh, there's the last gems right there. We done. Dry Canyon, or whatever the hell it was called, is complete. And I think that's going to do it for part 3.